Welcome back to Boredom Sated. I'm Michael,
I'm Boris.
and today we're continuing our line on investigating vampires in Ravenloft, specifically demi-human vampires. Last time we did the gnome vampire, the jolly vampire, as it were. Now we're doing the more esoteric one, the beautiful one, the elven vampire.
Which is really nasty because they go totally the opposite way with any other type of vampire, and the elven vampire becomes he who sucks beauty out of you. They themselves become ugly, and and the stat they drain is charisma, which
Everyone's dump stat at 3.5. Oh, almost.
yeah, yeah, and even in fifth edition, unless you're a charisma based character, it's not utilized.
Yeah.
They use all the others. So yeah, when one of these, depending on how they do it, if they do it the same way and it drains charisma, disappears, half the party starts running the other way.
The charisma drain is touch based. So if you can keep your distance, you might be okay. But unfortunately, trying to keep your distance from an elven vampire is very difficult considering how fast they are. Just like the gnome vampire,
Yep.
the older they are, the faster they become. So yeah, it's a losing prospect when you think about it. Um,
Yep.
one of the aspects of
Definitely.
that is that's how they turn you into a vampire. If you're a half elf or an elf and you get charisma drained to zero, um, you then they bury you. They can bury you for 1 to 4 days. You rise up as a vampire, an elven vampire that will serve the master.
Actually, that's how it says, but it's even more horrible than that. If they
Oh,
drain you to 3 charisma or below,
yeah,
you totally become depressed and you turn around and
suicidal.
walk away,
Yeah,
suicidal. And if
it's
they
yeah,
drain you to 0, you have no desire for life,
and
and and you die from your lack of desire for life,
I know that.
which
Yeah, it
is
sucks.
horrendous.
Yeah, they have they target the ability that nobody it makes everybody extremely vulnerable. Like for instance, fighter types, you're not putting anything in charisma. Wizard types, they're antisocial. They don't care. Everything there goes into intelligence or constitution.
Yep.
Only possibly the divine character like the paladin, maybe the cleric if they to turn undead back in that day. I don't think druids need it. Sorcerers
Yep.
obviously need it. Bards obviously need it. But everyone else,
Right.
yeah, not really.
Yep.
Now, the
So the
vampire also has a wonderful little trait. It's almost not so much attack ability, um, but it's just something that's they are the opposite of what they were in life. So they have something called a black thumb. And yes, I know some people who have a black thumb in real life, but that's another discussion. Basically, what it means is they hate plants. Um, when they touch a plant, they cause a wasting disease on that plant, and until they're destroyed, that plant is doomed. And this is a weird. This is very much a role playing aspect for the vampire itself, something that's tragic, because they actually feel that plant dying. So it says it can actually drive the vampire mad because they're constantly in agony. That's
right.
edge lord level stuff.
But so these are definitely hunted by every single druid out there.
Oh yes, rangers, druids, yeah, get that damn thing. Ah,
So
these these type of vampires don't transform into bats; they transform into eagles, which is a nice little touch. And they can summon all sorts of interesting things as well. They can also summon like eagles as well and vermin as well to do their bidding.
yep. Now the other thing is, unlike regular vampires who hunt during the night and sleep during the day, these are totally opposite. They die in at night
Yeah,
if they are caught outside their coffin, and they walk around during the day.
that would completely throw any group or off their tracks. Like, oh hey, this is just some dude randomly going about doing his nonsense.
Well, a
And
very ugly dude.
well, it's the Middle Ages. What is it? A lot of people are ugly. You just put a burn up sack over his head, he's fine.
Yes.
But yeah, he's the opposite of all of the vampires. He's a day walker, and he gets burnt by night. He can actually be destroyed if you manage to strand him in the nighttime, which is very
right.
Weird. Now, how about repelling these biatches? Now,
Well,
this is interesting again because of their anti-plant, anti-nature condition. You can repel them if you can. They can't cross a line of unbroken, freshly plucked petals, flower petals, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, and everybody has that around.
Yeah, they have to be plucked within a day, otherwise they go bad. But still, I'm like, so what? So it's not bad if we can somehow get them into a circle. Then we just beat the crap out of them. But still.
And imagine you have a druid among you. You're doing what? Why are you plucking all those flowers? What are you doing?
You also can't resist the sound of music. So this is where the bard will shine. Because so long as the bard's playing an instrument or singing, the vampire has to make a saving throw or be fascinated, not be able to move.
And the interesting part is the saving throw DC back, is equivalent to the performance check.
Yeah.
So back then, bards usually put a lot, into performance. So you could roll easily, in the 30s.
Yeah.
At the level where you would encounter it. Yeah. And it wouldn't be easy for them to save.
Yeah. However, still, if as with other vampires, if you interrupt them, if you attack them while they're fascinated, it automatically breaks the fascination. Right. Now,
so it also can't travel underground, which really sucks if it's a drow vampire.
Wow, that might be yet another variation of this. I mean, they might have a drow vampire as another demi-human because they're different. That would be funny if that was also the daylight. Because remember, drow hate daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. Oh, and they're not affected by holy water, but they do get burnt by tree sap. So I'm like, all right, I guess that works. It's again the anti-nature type of thing. Now, how do we? Now, the main question, as all party members and all players would want to know, is how do we actually kill this damn thing? Okay, just like with other demi-human vampires, it's not easy. Let me put it that way. First of all, it doesn't require a regular wooden stake. It requires a charcoal stake. Now, I don't know about you, but if you ever try to actually make a stake and then, burn it, it's not exactly, it doesn't stay together very well. Remember, a charcoal stake. Think about that for a second. It's like it's crumbling by itself.
Right.
And you're supposed to, a regular wooden stake is not easy to get through a bone and into the chest cavity. Now you have to do it with a charcoal stake? Well, yeah, good luck with that.
Right. But to bring it to final death, this is also another one of those. How did they think of this? So, a sure way to kill an elven vampire is to sever its head and burn it in a fire fueled with flowers and flowery shrubs. The fire must burn for no less than 24 hours to ensure the vampire destruction. So
think about how long it takes to burn. How many shrubs and how many flower petals you actually have to gather to do that for 24 hours. You're gonna need like 5 tons of that stuff.
All I have to say is, as you're burning the vampire, you see a bunch of angry Druids looking at you.
The Druids will be killing you. You guys are next. What are you trying to do?
What are you doing?
You're burning half the forest to kill this thing.
So,
that's they just come up with this stuff just saying, let's see how hard we can make it to defeat these creatures, so that the players have absolutely no idea how to defeat them. Who's gonna? First of all, you have to stick around for the full day burning this damn head. A head. People like coming by. It's like, what are you
Right.
doing? Oh, killing a vampire. Really?
Looks like you're burning the forest.
Oh, oh,
So, so that is the Elven Vampire, and as we described, if you want to listen to our gnomes, their stat line increases significantly as they age, so they become devastating if they're over 1,000 years old. Again, we don't know what fifth edition is going to have, if they're going to have demi-human vampires, but I definitely would love to see these types of vampires. It really throws a wrench in everybody's view when they're playing from the traditional methodology.
oh yes.
So, yeah.
The
So,
Elven Vampires are a bit stronger than the gnome physically, at least. Um, they get much stronger. The dexterity becomes ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But surprise, surprise, their charisma doesn't increase nearly as fast or as much as the gnome vampire or the intelligent. But that's it goes without saying that the Elven Vampire really hates itself. It's very much the emo of the vamp, as if the vampires weren't emo enough. This one's really emo.
right. The one thing I have to say that there was that Ravenloft book where Strahd meets an elven vampire.
Yeah, the very first one. Yeah.
According to this, that never could have happened because
True.
Strahd can only stay in the night, and the elven vampire can only stay in the day. They would never meet.
That's true enough. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny, but that's true. Yeah. I think that was before
before this.
Before the Monster Manual came out, and
it was during the second edition advance.
Yeah, it was the initial run of it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of great novels. So that concludes the Elven Vampire, a definitely different strain from the normal nocturnal nightmares that the rest of the vampire demi-humans are grouped at.
So before we say goodbye, please subscribe, dislike, and tell us why. Like and tell us why. Hit that notification button so you know when the next demi-human vampire is going to pop up. And this is Boris from Boredom Sated.
I'm Michael from Boredom Sated.
Have a good day.
And we'll see you next time.